Truck tires are one of those upgrades that can quietly change everything, from how confident your truck feels in heavy rain to how much control you have on a rocky back road. The problem is, all-terrain tires are not one-size-fits-all. Some lean more highway-friendly, some are built for towing and rough gravel, and some focus on year-round traction when the weather turns. In this video, we're counting down the 5 best all-terrain truck tires of 2026, breaking down key features and what to watch for so you can pick the right set for your truck. Links are in the description. Number 5. General Grabber ATX. If you want a true all-terrain look and capability without jumping straight into premium pricing, the General Grabber ATX is a strong place to start. It's aimed at drivers who spend most of their week on pavement, but still want a tire that feels dependable on gravel roads, construction sites, and weekend trails. The tread layout uses sturdy, multi-angle blocks with open shoulder spacing, so it can grab loose dirt and small rocks instead of skating across them. You also get built-in stone protection ideas in the grooves, which helps reduce that annoying gravel packing that can happen on sharper surfaces. On the road, the Grabber ATX usually feels planted and predictable for an A/ tire. Steering response is not razor-sharp like a highway tire, but it tracks confidently, and the tread pattern is designed to keep the contact patch stable as speed climbs. In wet conditions, the wide channels and sipping help move water away, so the tire feels more secure during braking and lane changes compared to older, more blocky all-terrain designs. Noise is present, but it's generally a steady hum rather than a harsh roar, especially once you're cruising at a consistent speed. Where the Grabber ATX earns its reputation is durability for the money. It's built to handle rough gravel and uneven terrain with a tougher casing feel than many entry-level all-terrains, and it's a good match for trucks that see mixed-duty use. The trade-off is that deep, sticky mud is still not this tire's home turf, and a heavier all-terrain build can nudge fuel economy slightly compared to a street-focused tire. If you want a capable, well-rounded A/T that stays sensible on price, this is a smart number 5 pick. Number 4. Falken WildPeak A T4W. If your truck sees real weather changes and you want an all-terrain that stays confident when roads turn cold, wet, or unpredictable, the Falken WildPeak A/T4W earns its spot at number 4. This tire is built around the idea of all-weather traction, not just dry dirt capability, which is exactly what many daily-driven trucks need. The tread is packed with siping and biting edges that help it hold on to slick pavement, and the groove layout is designed to clear water fast so the tire feels steady during braking and quick lane changes in heavy rain. Off the pavement, the AC4W keeps that all-terrain attitude. The shoulder lugs are shaped to dig into loose surfaces, and the tread voids provide room for dirt and light mud to work their way out instead of staying trapped. Falken also leans into a trail-friendly build, so you'll usually see good resistance to gravel abuse and the kind of chunking that can happen when a softer tire meets sharp rock. It's the type of tread that looks aggressive, but it's still organized enough to behave well at highway speeds. On-road comfort is one of the reasons this tire stays popular. It is not silent, but the sound tends to be controlled for the category, and it generally avoids the hollow droning tone that some heavier all-terrains develop. The steering feel is stable and the tire typically feels secure at speed, which matters if you do long highway drives between work and weekend trips. Under load, it's also a solid choice for trucks that carry gear often, because it keeps its shape well and doesn't feel overly squirmy when weight is added. The main trade-offs are weight and cost in some sizes, plus a slightly firmer ride than a street tire. But if you want a year-round all-terrain that leans hard into wet and cold road confidence, the A/T4W is a very safe pick. Number 3. Toyo Open Country A/T3. The Toyo Open Country A/T3 lands at number 3 because it hits a sweet spot for truck owners who want a tougher all-terrain feel without turning their daily drive into a constant compromise. It's a tire that's comfortable doing commuter duty, but it's clearly designed with rough roads in mind. The tread blocks are bold and well supported, and the staggered shoulder design gives it that extra bite when you drop off pavement onto dirt, gravel, or loose rock. Those wide, purposeful grooves also help the tire clear debris so it can keep finding traction instead of loading up and slipping. On mixed terrain, the A/T3 feels confident on washboard roads and gravel climbs where lighter all-terrains can feel nervous. The tread pattern is set up to resist stone retention, and the overall build leans toward durability, which is a big deal if your routes include sharp gravel, ranch roads, or construction zones. It's also a tire many drivers like for sand and loose surfaces because the block layout can paddle forward without feeling overly stiff, as long as you keep pressure sensible and match the load to the truck. For wet pavement, Toyo focuses on water evacuation and sipping to keep the tire predictable in rain. You still want smooth inputs. Any aggressive all-terrain can be pushed past its comfort zone, but this one generally feels stable under braking and doesn't get twitchy during quick highway corrections. Road noise is present, but it's usually more of a consistent hum than an annoying whine, and it tends to blend into the background once you settle into cruising speed. Ride quality is firm but not punishing, with a planted feel that suits heavier trucks. The trade-offs are the usual ones. It won't replace a mud terrain in deep clay, and the heavier construction can slightly affect fuel economy compared to highway tires. If you want a dependable mix of daily manners and real-world toughness, the A/T3 is a strong number 3. Number 2. Cooper Discoverer AT3 XLT. This tire is built with towing, hauling, and job site miles in mind, while still keeping the manners you need for everyday driving. The XLT name matters here, because the focus is on stability under weight. When a tire is carrying real load, you want it to feel controlled, not squishy, and the AT3 XLT is designed to keep the tread block supported so the truck tracks straight and feels more confident during braking with a trailer behind you. The tread pattern balances traction and control in a way that suits mixed surfaces. You get chunky edges for dirt and gravel, plus wide grooves that help the tire clear loose material instead of polishing it into the tread. That's useful on construction entrances, packed trails, and uneven back roads where you need consistent bite. Cooper also builds this tire with durability in mind, so it's a popular choice for drivers dealing with sharp gravel, broken pavement, and the kind of surfaces that can chew up softer all-terrains over time. On wet pavement, the AT3 XLT leans on full-depth siping and channeling to keep water moving away from the contact patch. That translates to a more planted feel in heavy rain, especially during lane changes and downhill braking. It's not a sports tire, but it stays predictable, which is the real goal for a truck that sees work miles. Noise is present, but it's generally controlled for the category, and most drivers find it easy to live with once they adjust from a highway tread. Ride quality can be slightly firmer, especially in heavier load ranges, but that firmness is part of what keeps the tires stable under stress. The trade-offs come down to weight and comfort versus capability. If your truck mostly cruises empty on smooth highways, you may not need this much structure. But if you tow, haul, or live on rough roads, the AT3 XLT is one of the most sensible choices on the list. Number 1. BFGoodrich All-Terrain T AK03. At number 1, the BFGoodrich All-Terrain T AK03 takes the top spot because it aims to be the all-terrain tire that does not force you to pick a single personality. It's GOAT for drivers who want real off-road traction and toughness, but still need the truck to feel confident on the highway, in heavy rain, and through changing seasons. The KO line has long been a go-to in this category, and the KO3 continues that do-it-all approach with a tread that looks aggressive, yet stays organized enough to keep the truck stable at speed. Off pavement, the KO3's shoulder lugs and block layout are set up to bite into loose dirt, gravel, and rocky terrain without feeling like the tire is constantly searching for grip. It also focuses on self-cleaning behavior in softer ground, so the tread can shed debris and keep grabbing instead of filling up and turning slick. Another part of the KO story is sidewall confidence. The casing and sidewall protection themes are a big reason drivers choose it for remote roads, sharp rock, and unpredictable trail conditions where a more street-focused tire can feel vulnerable. On the road, the KO3 is still an all-terrain, so you should expect some hum, but it's typically a controlled sound rather than an annoying drone. Steering feel is solid and centered, and the tire generally feels composed during highway cruising and quick corrections. In wet conditions, the sipping and channel layout help keep the tire predictable during braking and lane changes, and in colder months, it's often chosen by drivers who want an all-terrain that stays usable when temperatures drop. As always, winter performance depends heavily on the exact size, rating, and your local conditions. The trade-offs are what you'd expect from a top-tier A/T: price and weight. You're paying for capability and toughness, and the heavier build can slightly affect fuel economy compared to highway tires. But if you want one set that can handle daily driving, road trips, and real dirt road work with fewer compromises, the KO3 is the best all-around choice for 2026. So that wraps up our list of the 5 best all-terrain truck tires of 2026. Whether you want a value-focused option like the General Grabber ATX, an all-weather daily driver like the Falken WildPeak A T4W, a tough balance pick like the Toyo Open Country A T3 263, a work-ready tire for towing like the Discoverer AT3, a work-ready tire for towing like the Discoverer AT or the top all-around choice with the BFGoodrich All-Terrain T, the right ATX. Before you buy, match the tire to your load range, your most common road conditions, and the kind of weather you deal with every year. Drop a comment and tell us what you drive and which tire you're leaning toward. If this video helped, please hit the like button, and if you want more tire and truck gear roundups, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.